this again because that was very discouraging. My live just pretty much just hopped off, which is very upsetting. I was really getting into that last question, but that's okay. We can go through a quick recap of what I just said. So I already did my, we'll just dive back into the questions just because I've already been so far into it that I want y'all to gain the most information out of this Q&A as possible. So let's get back, or let's actually recap the questions that I already covered, and we'll get back to the spot where we were at last time. So the first question that someone put, or this is the most asked question that I get in my DMs, that I've gotten in my DMs this week, is what is copywriting? So essentially, copywriting is words that sell. And what I mean by that, which ties into this next question, what is words that sell? Essentially, words that sell is words that help you achieve a sale, essentially. It either helps you achieve a sale or it helps you in the process of achieving a sale. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what that is. But that's essentially what copywriting does. And what I described it as, it's mostly used in marketing or advertising types of activities. But it could also be used for other aspects as well, like social media and things of that nature. I was also saying how when I help my clients, I help them in the process of getting that sale. And in addition to also getting the sale as well, but mostly in that process, because that process is important, especially in storytelling. You need to make sure that you're crafting a stellar story to really get them to that sale without actually saying it's a sale. That's exactly why I dubbed myself a storytelling copywriter. And that's why I help business owners through storytelling tactics that really help to elevate their copy and ultimately help them reach their main business goals. Simple enough, right? Now, since I addressed those two questions pretty much mixed together, I'm going to go back into the last question that was asked. And if y'all have any questions for me, besides the ones that I've collected from my audience or from y'all through the questions that I asked yesterday, feel free to put them in the comments or in the question box, which is the little message symbol with the question mark in the middle. So I will address them here in real time as well. So, and I wrote it down too, so I wouldn't forget. So the last question that was asked was, how can I incorporate storytelling into my business? Candles can seem somewhat basic in nature. And I actually saw that as a really great question and a really great opportunity for me to talk to y'all about how storytelling and copywriting really come together. So, the way that storytelling and copywriting kind of merge together, because, you know, storytelling tells a specific story, it's an entertainment type of thing, whereas copywriting does the work to help you gain that sale. They have a meeting point, and that meeting point is essentially the experience or the messaging that you're getting out there to your target audience. But you're incorporating the entertainment factors and the strategic factors of storytelling and mixing that with the strategic factors and the abilities of words with copywriting. Those mix together to form an experience like no other that your audience will love. So, when it comes to a candle business, I'll actually walk you through this one to help you actually elevate your copy through storytelling. So, I always go by the storytelling format that I've learned from, what is it called? I forgot what it was called, but if I remember, I'll let y'all know in in my stories or a future post or anything like that. But I go by that storytelling method when it comes to crafting copy. But the main essential things that you need to get from that is, one, what type of audience are you dealing with? I used a storytelling characteristic, kind of character development type of thing, in the 3 essential character types that you encounter in stories that you can also encounter in a business setting or the real world setting. First is a dynamic audience, which is an audience that goes through a major change from start to finish. So they might be lost before they encounter your business or your products or your services. And then by the end, as you take them through that journey, they are a completely different person towards the end. Now, with these audiences, they tend to go towards a more positive ending, which is what you should also aim for when it comes to crafting your copy to get them to that point. And what that looks like in your copy is making more specific calls to actions, using specific action words as well, especially action verbs, to get them to really take that leap. Because this audience type, they're kind of skeptical. They know the change needs to happen, but they just need a little push to get them there. And that's where a lot of action words and strong and specific calls to actions are going to really help you in this sense. There's also round audiences. Round audiences are similar to dynamic audiences, but completely different. They're similar in that they both aim to get to a specific point where there's change happening in their lives. However, with a round audience, they're more complex. They have more layers that you need to tear off in order to understand their true pain point. So their pain points are more direct with dynamic audiences, but with round audiences, you have to do a little work to get there, which is why in your copy, you have to ask specific questions to them. Or you have to throw out experiences out there and see if they actually agree. If they say, hey, I'm feeling like this as well. Like, how can we actually get to a point where we are experiencing change? That's what a round audience is all about. And with them, like I said, you have to focus more on the questions that you ask them, things of that nature, to really make sure that you understand their pain points and you can mimic that through a storytelling format through your copy. Hey, Adrian, hope that you're having a great one. All right, and also the last type is there's symbolic. There we go. Symbolic audiences are audiences that represent very, very specific themes. So like I mentioned before my live cut off, they represent love, they represent worry. Sometimes they can actually represent current events like movements and things of that nature too. So it can be a little tricky when trying to capture their attention through storytelling copy. And the reason why is because the pain point's already there in that they probably love, for example, like they're probably not experiencing love or anything like that. Or worry, like they're probably worried about their health. They're probably worried about their appearances, things of that nature. The pain point's already laid out. The problem is actually getting them to that point of change through specific words. So the best way to do that through copy is to reassure them, to show empathy towards them, to really show them that you understand where they're coming from. Like, hey, I understand. I experienced this as well. Like, it's okay to share your own story with this audience type as well. Like, I've been through this as well. I had to realize that this is what I had to do to get started. I want to help you get to that same point as well, through what I offer and things of that nature. It's really, really, really fun once you really understand your audience type. So I got that little spiel out the way. I'm trying to make sure that my phone doesn't cut off on me again, because if it does, I'm honestly going to just pre-record it and post it on here because it can't give me a second time. Let's be honest. Now, after you identify the type of audience that you are dealing with, now it's time to provide them with some type of experience and then ultimately lead them to a call to action. But let's talk about that experience and messaging portion first, because this is where the bulk of your copy is going to be created. You have to realize specific processes and things of that nature. So like I said, I described the processes that you have to go to really gain the loyalty of those three main types of audiences. This is basically it put to work. So you said a candle business, for example, in this question. There are many experiences that you can put your audience through to really get them to feel the copy that you're putting out there. So instead of you saying that you're selling soy candles that are good for the environment, they're vegan, they provide you with a good smell or anything like that, those aren't really experiences that people can connect with. Let's be honest. That's probably what you mean by it's basic in nature. When in reality, there is so much that you can do to actually put the thought or the idea out there of something more. So some examples I can provide for you are you're providing them with a getaway from their busy or chaotic lifestyle. You're elevating their self-care days to something that is much more than just face masks and drinking wine or something like that. What's another thing? Let's see. Providing them with a new level of security with their peace. See, that's a big one right there. Because think about it. Why do people buy candles? Some like the smell. Let's be honest there. Some like the experience of burning it. Oh, that's another one. Elevating their cleaning routine through, specified smells, things of that nature. There are plenty of things that you can do with storytelling within your copy to elevate this candle business. Like, don't get it twisted. This business is not basic. No business out there is basic in nature, no matter how saturated, no matter how boring it may seem. There are ways to implement storytelling in accounting services or any type of business field. Doctors, lawyers, people who are running those types of businesses. Like, there is so much potential through storytelling that you have no idea that people actually need. And in fact, using storytelling helps to clarify that as well for many people who may not know what you do or are probably confused on what you do or, things like that. It's not about the service or the product you're providing. It's about the experience that you are putting out there for them to consume. Let's get that straight. Because we don't like being sold things. We like experiencing things and adding to our experiences. So I want you to keep this in mind as you're crafting your copy. Don't ask, how can I promote my product or service? Ask yourself, what message am I trying to put out there? Or what experience do I want my audience to really experience for themselves through my copy? And I promise you, it makes the process 10 times easier when crafting your copy, especially for content-related reasons. So, I got a little worked up right there. But I was just so excited to talk about storytelling and copywriting. Like, y'all have no idea how much I love this field. And I'm going to keep on doing this till I can't do it anymore, which I hope is never. So, I hope that addressed your questions. I don't see any other questions in the comments at this moment. That's a-okay. I will make this closing real quick before I close out. Don't neglect the power of storytelling just because you feel like your industry doesn't fit the criteria for storytelling. There isn't a set criteria for storytelling. In fact, you don't have to be a storytelling expert to tell story through your copy. All you have to do is know your audience type from inside out. I have to express that. Please, please, please. Spend time getting to know your target audience, because if you don't, then you're just going to assume what they want, and assumptions are not the truth. Assumptions are not the truth. I had to say that twice. You can't assume what your target audience wants. You have to learn what they want through asking them, through interacting with them, through looking at what they post, through looking what they like. It takes time to really understand your target audience through and through. But that's okay, because the time is worth it when you're able to understand them and then craft an experience through your copy that they love every single time. That's when you gain these loyal followers. That's when they start talking about your business and spreading the word. Word of mouth is very powerful, by the way. And things of that nature. So, every business industry out there has the potential to use storytelling in their copy. All you have to do is take those first steps in order to get there. So, that's my closing. I hope that this live really helps y'all understand more about copywriting and what it's all about, but also my field as well, where I implement storytelling tactics into copywriting to really elevate the words that you put out there to sell and help you reach your main business goals. So, excuse me. I am about to go on and get started with my day now. I started kind of late, but that's okay. If you have any questions for me related to copywriting or storytelling as I save this, I am saving it as an IGTV, so you can put them in the comments, Or you can also DM me. You can also DM me with your additional questions as well. You know, I'm an open book, so I'd be more than happy to address any questions that y'all may have. But in the meantime, I hope that this has benefited someone out there. If you feel like someone else can benefit from this as well, someone who doesn't know what copywriting is, or someone who's trying to elevate their copy currently, share it with them. Save it, like it, comment, share. Share, because this information needs to go out to someone who does need it. And it's very valuable information. So, I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I'm out of here. I will speak to y'all soon, but yeah, I hope that y'all stay curious as well. So I'll speak to you soon. Bye.